Representative. Okay, Representative Burchell and then Representative Batten.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Apropos of what the gentleman from Alton mentioned, I have a motion relative to the provisions in Chapter 2413A. I move that the delegation appropriate $2,594,925 to fund employee health insurance premiums. I further move that sick pay bonuses and longevity bonus be funded in the amount suggested by the Commission.
Thank you, Representative. Is there a second? Yes.
Madam Chair, I've done some homework with some help from some other people, and it's no, this is not a second.
I need a second.
I think
first. The motion's not on the
it's
floor
an
yet.
inappropriate motion because we've already
I'll
passed.
second the motion.
Thank you.
We've already passed the budget. We've already passed the budget. We did it last time, and the way it worked was, this isn't funny. The way it works is that there were some, there was an impropriety, and it was inadvertent, but Representative Conquest's vote should not have counted. And if you agree with Representative Burchell that we're following Mason's rules of order, it's very clear. In a legislative body, it's a rule that no member can vote who is not present when the question is put. There's an exception here that certainly does not apply. And that's when people disagree and they both can have their votes counted. They can't be there, but they have to be two people disagreeing. I have it here if you'd like to look at it. Now, if we're not going by Mason's, then the rule that we are bound by, whether we have a choice or not, is the right to know. And it definitely defines what a quorum is. We had a quorum. 13 of us were here, present. That is a quorum. And this is how this is defined. This is how it works. Except in an emergency, a quorum of the public body shall be physically present at the location specified in the meeting notice. We had 13 of us. Then it says, a member of the public body may participate in a meeting other than by attendance in person at the location of the meeting only, this is may, participate in a meeting only when attending in person is not reasonably practical. The word may suggests we should have voted on whether Representative Conquest's vote should be taken. No such thing took place. It goes on to say, the reason for participation from some other place than the location of the meeting shall be stated in the minutes of the meeting. It's not there, it was never inquired of, it couldn't be possible. His vote didn't count. We have passed the budget 7-6. And that's the end of it.
Thank you. Motion on the floor. Speak to motion, please.
Point of order. We can't do this if we've already passed the budget. What's the point? We've already passed it.
Representative Clear, the motion was voted on last week. Representative Comtois, it was made note at the meeting that he had a roof that was collapsing, and he had...
This is the first I've heard of it, Madam Chair. No, none of the rest of us have heard about the collapsing roof.
Representative, I said that at the meeting. In fact, I mentioned I was sent one of the pieces that will be corrected in the minute, which have not been approved. So.
And why didn't we vote on that?
Yes.
Why didn't we vote?
Paper by that before.
Okay, so it is public.
Madam Chair, I'd like to ask Representative Comtois if a Democrat in Laconia went up to him and said, "How's the roof?" What happened? Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, given that, all right.
Can we stick to the motion on the floor?
No, I want, let's, first things first. If I misheard that, then I apologize. And I'm certainly not trying to fault him for this. You know, he's as much a victim of this as I am. So, in any event, what should have happened is that we should have voted on his ability to vote over the telephone, and that did not happen. And there was nothing in the minutes. And now all of a sudden we do this last-minute scramble to correct that. Well, it's not there, and we didn't have the vote, and his vote doesn't count.
The motion that was on the floor passed, failed 7-7. That meeting is concluded. We are now moving forward.
That meeting,
We now have a motion on the floor.
that vote was
Would you
improper,
just speak to the
Madam
budget,
Chair, as you
Chair?
know.
Please.
All right, further to the comments of the gentleman from Alton, we are on an unsustainable, in my opinion, crescendo of increased costs. I noticed that the 2013 actual commission, as it was rearranged, it was $2,594,925 for healthcare premiums, and that the request from the commissioners in 2014 is $3,154,725. My math is that that's an increase of $559,800, and I see that as a 21.6% increase over 2013 actuals. Further, from most of the economists that I read, it can be anticipated that will be at least 30% increase in health insurance premiums in 2015. Just one other comment, and then anybody can say what they want. Some of us on the convention would like to see additional correctional officers hired for no other reason than that we think that it is in the common weal. And that's going to be extremely difficult. And so I would take this opportunity to agree with Mr. Taylor. We did not collude ahead of time. But I would say what he said is exactly accurate.
Thank you. There was a motion and a second on the floor. Please, discussion on the motion.
I'll comment that's exactly my perspective also. They completed the year at $2,594,000 or whatever. That's the appropriate place to start. I understand the commissioners have a tough job. They haven't made any progress yet on controlling healthcare costs. I've checked even further. Each week I usually check with somebody as to what they're paying, what the cost share of the premiums are, and what the overall premiums are. And I haven't found anybody that's got anywhere near the arrangement that the county has. And there's been no progress in the, at least the last 4 years. So I think that's the place to start. There's no additional premiums needed for the first 6 months. That gives the commissioners an incentive to get back to the drawing board and figure out how they're going to do it. And there are a lot of ways you can do it, but that's their position. I'm not going to go into the detail.
I am encouraged that your motion is giving back longevity and sick bonus. That is something that we struggled with last year to eliminate, and to be able to reward the employees who are here is something that's important. I also recognize that we must be mindful of the health insurance cost. And repeatedly, this convention asked, what is the employee's share? And we've been repeatedly told 5% and 6%. Well, I was aghast when I read in the newspaper that that's only if it's the most expensive plan. If you're on the HMO or the plan that most of us would be very happy to have, there is zero contribution from the employees, and I was very sad to see that and truly dismayed that was reported. Yes.
I have a couple of things just to bring up, and I know it's part of the motion, but last meeting, I was driving home from Concord in the storm, and the reason I wasn't here is 2 reasons. One is a windshield wiper went on my truck, and I couldn't see out the window. So when I did finally get home, washing my hand with the window all the way home, I got home, I was going to take my girlfriend's car and come over, and my garage door jammed. So at that point, I decided to snowblow, so I could get in and out of the yard at that point. The other thing is I heard about that Tom Wilson had no argument that he called in or wherever. But you call me on my cell phone, and when the snowblower going, I can't hear it. And you call my house phone, I could have got the message to come over. Okay? That I had 2 phones. If you can't get me on one, try the other. Because my girlfriend was in the house, and I ended up coming back in because somebody called, and I called, and the only number I had was the sheriff. So don't be blaming the sheriff that he called to get me to come in, because I called to see if the meeting was still going on. I asked then, he said there was a vote going on. I said, I'd like to vote. What's the vote? Because I couldn't get a hold of anybody here. So I wanted to set the record straight. I would have been here, had I any way to got here, I would have been here, okay? Now, the other thing I got
Wait, I
is-
need to respond to that.
No, this is on the
Wait.
budget stuff now.
But, hold on a moment. Representative Vadney and I, at 2 o'clock yesterday, that day, he took half the delegates and I took the other half, and we personally contacted every
Well,
single
I'm in
delegate.
committee at 2 o'clock Tuesday all day long. I cannot answer my phone in committee, okay?
As with the rest of us.
Okay, so,
Thank you.
well, whatever you
Okay,
want
the
to do,
second
okay? You
one.
guys do what you want anyway. However, I appreciate the public's comment, but the public needs to know that when we started this thing, and it went on from last year, we have subcommittees that we're supposed to do. We weren't allowed to do our subcommittees. The chair took over. Rep. Demore came in last time when we did the budget, and he said, my numbers, not the subcommittee numbers. So I tend to disagree the way you're running this process.
Point
And
of
that's all-
order.
It's not personal,
You are
it's
out
the
of
product.
line. Oh, my
And you
goodness.
stay out of it, because you always stick your nose
Oh,
in.
Representative.
And I'll tell you what it is. And
I believe I run this
I take
delegation.
offense at we're attacking our administration and our managers,
Representative.
because that's all
Fields,
you've done.
Control.
Where's that voice?
I am controlled, but you shut me off and you won't let me speak because you know you're wrong.
Representative Fields.
You
there's
do it every
a motion
time.
And a second on the
He's
floor
out of
to
order.
speak to the motion.
I'm not afraid to stand up for what I believe in.
Thank you.
So anybody
Okay.
wants to hear it, fine. If they don't, that's fine.
Seeing that we.
But you can see, people, what we're dealing with.
Oh, my.
We got 8 or 9 people here that want to do what they want, no matter
Put
what
a
we do.
sock in it.
And they're supposed to be
Representative Fields.
Republicans too, but yet they not
Representative
be.
Fields, control
Oh,
your.
why don't you do the process? I've been a
Control.
lot
Stop.
longer than you.
Please stop.
Oh, stop, because you don't like to hear it.
Okay, Representative.
That makes you feel good. I said my piece.
Croc TV.